All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today we're going to dig into an ancient Buddhist parable that has this surprisingly modern message. It's a story all about cutting through the noise, the praise, the achievements, the status, to find what actually truly lasts.
So, here's how we're going to break this down. We're going to follow a seeker on their quest, using a tree as our map. We'll start with the flimsy leaves on the very outside and work our way in, layer by layer, right to the solid core. And the whole point is to figure out what real, lasting satisfaction actually looks like.
Okay, so every journey starts somewhere, right? And this one begins with a person who feels this deep need to find something solid to hold on to in a world that's always changing, something essential, something real.
Now, this ancient story we're diving into, it frames this entire search as a quest for Heartwood. Just think of it like this. It's the strongest, most essential part of a tree, and it's also a perfect metaphor for the very core of our own strength and our purpose.
The original Pali word for this is sara, which literally does mean heartwood, but you have to understand, in this story, it's so much more than just wood. It represents the ultimate prize of the spiritual journey, that unshakable core of peace that, let's be honest, we're probably all looking for. So what kicks off a search this deep? I mean, this isn't just some casual curiosity. The story is super clear that this journey starts from a place of, a profound realization about what it means to be human.
It all starts right here. This isn't about just feeling a little bit better. No, this is an urgent, all-in quest to find a complete and total end to the cycle of suffering that we all face. This profound goal. That's what fuels the entire journey.
But, as soon as the journey begins, the very first trap appears. And it is a big one, something I think every single one of us has probably fallen for at some point in our lives.
And this is where the parable just gets brilliant. The first mistake our seeker makes is getting hooked on external validation. The praise, the status, the likes. It's like they've grabbed a handful of flimsy leaves and are totally convinced they're holding the solid heart of the tree.
The second our seeker settles for praise, they get satisfied. They start to feel superior to other people who aren't getting that same recognition. And just like that, the journey grinds to a halt, all for a little bit of applause. Okay, so let's say our seeker is smart enough to ignore the applause. The journey inward continues. But as they start peeling back the layers of the tree, the traps just get more and more subtle.
So once you get past the leaves of praise, the very next layer is becoming a good person. Perfecting your virtue and morality, and this is a huge step, for sure. But the parable says if you stop here, you're just holding the outer bark. It's projective, yeah, but it is not the core.
If you go one layer deeper, you find intense mental focus, what we might call a flow state today. This is like getting to the inner bark, even closer to the center. But again, the trap is pride. It's so easy to start thinking, wow, look how focused I am, unlike all those other people.
Deeper still, and we finally hit the sapwood. This represents gaining profound knowledge and insight. But the parable's warning is so consistent, even this is not the final prize. If all that knowledge just makes you arrogant, you've totally missed the point.
Are you seeing the pattern here? At every single layer, it's the exact same story. The seeker achieves something good, but then gets satisfied. And that satisfaction turns into pride, a feeling of being better than others. And that is the exact moment the journey stops dead in its tracks.
So, if it's not praise, not morality, not deep concentration, or even profound knowledge, then what is the real goal? What is the heartwood our seeker has been looking for this whole time?
The parable pushes us past all of these near misses, all these things that are good, but they aren't the ultimate goal. It pushes us past all of that to finally reveal what we've been looking for all along.
And here it is, the final destination, the very essence of the tree. In the original Pali, the heartwood, the true prize of the entire journey, is called this.
And this is maybe the most important distinction in the whole story. The heartwood is not one more trophy to put on the shelf. It's not an achievement at all. It's a state of being. It's an unshakable freedom of the mind that once you find it can never, ever be lost.
And here's why this is so different from all the other layers. See, you can be proud of your reputation, your virtue, your focus, even your knowledge. But you can't be proud of this. And why not? Because to reach the heartwood, the very sense of a separate self that compares itself to others, it has to dissolve. There's just no one left to be arrogant.
Now look, this isn't just some ancient story from monks living in a forest. This parable is an incredibly powerful map for any of us trying to figure out what really matters in our own very modern lives.
So this gives us a kind of roadmap to look at our own lives. Are we chasing the leaves, the likes, the promotions, the public praise? Are we satisfied with just being seen as a good person, or are we willing to dig a little deeper for something that is truly unshakable?
And so this is the question I really want to leave you with. Take an honest look at your own journey. In your career, in your relationships, in your personal goals, what are the flimsy leaves you might be chasing? What are those superficial rewards that might be distracting you from finding your own unshakable heartwood? It's a question worth sitting with.